Hello everyone, my name is Akai Fox and this is another art video. In today's video, I am working on something a little unique, that it is an art request for someone who has their own predetermined character that other people have also made different art contributions for. This character is gone by the name of Underscore, and they are a character who is set in the Arkham Batman, I'm guessing, mythos. And so the character is basically set as someone who has really gray, kind of ashy skin. They don't have any hair to speak of, and they typically are someone who wears a black trench coat and some sunglasses, and they are immortal in the fact that they come back each time they pass on in the same setting, in the same graveyard, with no memories or little memories of their life before. So the whole premise is that this character lives multiple lives, and in each life starts to hopefully put together a few different pieces of their origin, and it's a very fascinating take on a different character, and one that can have a multitude of origins and backstories and lives. And it's very interesting that overall it's something that can be taken in a whole bunch of different directions. Sometimes it can be as simple as they're living in the Arkham world, and some of the other contributions to their art gallery were things like a Pokemon trainer, and I've seen a few others. So when this person reached out and challenged me to also want to contribute something to this art gallery, I was excited and also a little terrified, because if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that the idea of doing a human is not especially my favorite. So I did decide to use the Clip Studio 3D Modeler option as kind of a base and a guide, since this is a character that is devoid of a lot of features, and quite honestly, I'm still very much self-taught and learning how I too can get better at the human anatomy. It's a tricky beast for sure, but something that I felt would give me a starting point and a reference. I also chose probably the most difficult angle to do this from, and I wish I hadn't, but at the same time I'm very pleased with how it ended up turning out at the very end of things. So follow along as we go through this. Obviously you can see that I had started with our kind of spooky setting with a graveyard and his telltale sign of the tombstone there. And then we're kind of sketching in his trench coat, and I went through a couple different decisions and options, and I put off the face for last because, again, it's a little terrifying. I really struggled with these glasses. Again, 3D and 3/4 turned was probably the most difficult thing I could have chosen for myself, but I am happy with how it ended up turning out at the end of the day. And so here we are, struggling a little bit with that, but we got there in the end. So, but it's been fun to challenge myself and to see what other people are wanting out of their requests and things that they can come up with. And it was cool to hear and to read about this character's backstory and some of the more unique contributions to their gallery. Everything from as simple as some stick figures to as complicated and as intricate as some 3D renders and models and things. So overall, it was a really fantastic challenge for myself, and something that I'm glad I received at the end of the day. So I hope you guys all enjoyed watching all of this. I really enjoy being able to take requests from the community and to bring some of their visions to life, or to do my best in bringing what they'd like to see as well. So I do these art requests generally on Fridays on my channel, and on this particular Friday I had taken some extra time off. I have quite a few art requests I am backed up on, and so I was trying to knock out a few, and this was one of the 4 pieces I ended up doing on that extra long stream. And so it was a good day, good challenge for myself. And here we are, just kind of cleaning up some of the blurring, some of the blending that happened in the process. So overall, thank you guys just so much for choosing to support this art journey. I find it interesting that before putting myself out there a little bit, I wouldn't even acknowledge that I was an artist. I would call myself only a doodler. And it's still surreal to me that people want to see the process, that they want to request my art, and overall that it's something that makes them happy. So thank you guys just so much for supporting the channel and seeing all of that. And if you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Have a good weekend.